All right, this is our sixth video in critical path analysis MSN3. And in this video, we are going to be learning about forward and backward scanning. Now, forward and backward scanning is the methods that we can use to tell the earliest time an activity can be started and the latest time an activity can be started. So we use the abbreviations EST and LST for earliest start time and LS start time. And the EST is found by forward scanning and the LST is found by backward scanning. Now I'm just going to give a little demonstration on this network diagram here of how you find the LST and EST. So what you do is for each activity, you need to draw a box, and the box is going to have two halves, one for the EST and one for the LST. And you have to do this across the whole of the network graph. You want a box for each edge, essentially. Wherever there is an activity, you need to put in a box. And so if you could imagine that this whole network diagram had a box, then you can go ahead and put the EST and the LST in. So what I mean by putting the EST and the LST in, I'm going to do that in red, is you have a look at what comes before. And so if we have a look at A, what comes before A is nothing. A has no immediate predecessors, which means the earliest time that we could start A is at 0. We can start it as soon as possible. We can start it as soon as we want at 0. Whereas once we get to C, C has an immediate predecessor of A. And so the earliest time that you could start C is after A has been completed. And A has a weight of 8. And so in our earliest start time, you would put 8. Because the earliest time C can be completed is after A has finished, and A has a duration of 8. So C can start after 8 minutes or hours or however long. If we have a look here at B, B is the same as A. It has no predecessor, so it can start whenever it wants. It can start at 0 time. Now let's have a look at D. D would have a EST. I'm not going to draw the box, but it would have the earliest start time of 6, because B has to occur before D, and B has a duration of 6. So the earliest time that D can start is after B has finished, which is after 6 minutes or hours. When you go on to do the next one, let's just do E for example, you have to add the EST to the activity. So for E, I'll just quickly draw up a box. E can occur after C, and C can only occur after 8. So E can occur after 9 minutes or hours, because we have the A was 8. So we have 8 along here, we have 1 along here. So by the time it gets to E, we have 8 minutes plus 1 minute, which equals 9 minutes. So that's how you do the EST or forward scanning. And backward scanning is just the same, but doing it in the opposite direction. So you start at the finish and you'd have your earliest time to complete the project, and then you would just minus the times. So -1, -2, for example. So that is what the EST and the LST look like. To complete forward and backward scanning, you draw a box with 2 halves on each edge for each activity, and you fill it in for the durations.